Pioneer Days started off really well. I thought this was going to be absolutely fantastic. It starts off with Mickey and Minnie in the back of a wagon singing Oh Susanna. Brilliant song. And then, well, it becomes very un-PC. And normally it takes a lot for me to think actually that's outrageous and not just a product of its time. But this one, while we have to accept it as a product of its time, it was released in 1930 and directed by Burt Gillett. It is a product of its time, but it's quite a severe product of its time. And Mickey and Minnie are captured by Indians. This is, of course, the language of the film. We are talking about Native Americans and very, very stereotypical depictions of Native American individuals at this time. Even for this time, I feel like some of the treatment of these characters was a little bit disturbing. Yes, they are the antagonists, so they're not going to treat them with love and respect because they're there to capture Minnie. Mostly it is Minnie with Mickey trying to save her, but Minnie comes to her rescue and he gets into a bit of bother because of that. And there's this really bizarre fight scene with him and one of the Native Americans. And there's a really eerie moment where there's not much background music and not many sound effects. And it's just the sounds of the two of them fighting, and it's so disturbing. It's really bizarre. And I'm sure there was a point where the Native American like picked up Mickey's head, like picked him up by the scruff or whatever, and slammed his head into the floor. I don't know if I'm overanalyzing that bit of animation, but it was definitely a lot more violent than I had expected. I won't say how it concludes or anything because I do recommend you watch it if you're a Mickey Mouse fan, because it's interesting to see kind of where Mickey Mouse came from, what that character used to be like, and how they used to treat these kind of stories. If you take away the really awkward depictions, it's very good insofar as it's got a really nice narrative structure. The animation style is pretty good. The voice acting is interesting. We do, of course, have Walt Disney himself here as Mickey with Marcelita Garner as Minnie. I think it's quite well animated. It's clear to see what's going on. The animation style is really pleasing, very detailed, but unfortunately it's what's being animated that's a little bit of a problem. So I enjoyed certain aspects of it. Certain aspects shocked me more than anything else, and it takes a lot to shock me. I'm still of the mind that Santa's Workshop is perfectly fine, even though it's one of Disney's most frowned upon, apparently. But this one, yeah, a little bit shocking. Let me know what you think of it if you check it out. It is really interesting, historically very fascinating, but not necessarily accurate.